Guys, this is the 3 a.m. podcast. My name is Charlie.
My name is DJ.
My name is Sean.
And it's been way too long.
I almost forgot that we introduced ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes, you're Charlie. I know.
DJ's like, and? Guys, it's been a super long time since I've been on the podcast. I have been moving across country, getting a new job, and trying to start a life down here in the beautiful paradise of Florida, bro. Florida, bro.
Charlie's a Florida man now, dude.
Yeah, I totally am. There's a couple things. Like the last time I talked to everyone, I wasn't able to walk. Do you remember that?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
First, you were on all fours.
I was a mess, dog. I legit, there was one point where I was crawling on the tile of my floor to go to the bathroom, and I was just bawling because I was in so much pain, dude. And it was like my legs are just scraping on the ground, and I'm like, this is shit. I legit couldn't walk. I couldn't hold my baby. You know what I mean? It was crazy. I have a bulging disc. It sucks ass. How did I throw my back out? Was it fighting someone in the street defending my honor? No. Was it lifting hella weights at the gym? Negatory. This is how I threw my back out, dog. I woke up in the morning and I like kind of lifted my knee up and I kicked it down a little bit to like get out of bed, and it instantly just like a knife in my back. So it was me casually sliding out of bed in the morning, and it felt like I got stabbed in the back and I couldn't walk.
Wow.
So
damn.
But I'm at a point where there's no pain. I can walk. I can run. My back's
nice.
My back still feels a little weak, but I'm going to try to go to physical therapy down here. So thank you to everyone who like hit me up. I actually had a lot of help. Like people were in the DMs, like being like, oh, you should do this. You should do that. You should do that. So it was really nice, but I can walk. I moved to Florida and I have a lot to talk about. Where do you guys want to start?
Tell us about Florida, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because so this is what happens. Charles and Kevin, our intern Kevin, drove cross country together. Just them two, right? And Lucy. You guys had Lucy.
Yeah.
So here's why. I went down early because we were going to have absolutely no furniture in the house. And so Baby and MJ were going to go to her mom's house to hang out until all of our stuff got, because they packed up all of our shit. It went into a van and a big old movers, and it was slowly coming across the country. So it was going to take like 2 weeks. So I had to go down early to camp, and I had to drive because Lucy, we have a dog, and we weren't about to put her on a plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also had like, I don't know, 80 pounds of breast milk in the car with us.
Moving that product.
Dude, I was
You're
like,
basically Death Stranding.
I was like, if Kevin and I get pulled over,
Mother's milk.
how do we explain this to a cop? You know what I mean? Because
we have hella milk, bro.
Because like 80% of the back of the seat, or like the whole back, like so I couldn't walk, so we had to put the chairs back in the back down so I could lay down flat.
Yeah.
And then the entire side of me is like a giant Yeti full of titty milk. And I was like,
wait, how much? So many
much.
Gallons?
Dude, like 900 boobies full is probably how much.
That's crazy.
It was so much titty milk. So, but like, I was laying down.
Obviously, because I don't have experience. Do mothers do they double pump? Will you like have two going on at the same time?
Yep.
And are they like canisters? Or you just like
That's usually
going
how I
off, and
do
then
it.
you load the next one, and it's just like the way you like load up like an AK-47, and you just pop, 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 shoot it in, and then you take it out.
With the hopper? Yeah, bro. That's what it's like. It's like,
damn.
Yeah, dude. Double tittied up.
Stay strapped.
No. Yeah. But anyway, so we had houseplants, titty milk, Goose, me, lying in the back, wallowing in pain, and then Kevin, and we drove straight. And when I say we drove straight, what I mean is if Kevin wasn't driving, I was driving. And while he was driving, I was sleeping. Well, more like I was trying to sleep, and he's blasting musicals.
Yeah.
And then when I'm driving, I have my AirPods in. I'm all quiet. I'm like, turn my blinker on all quiet and shit. And he's snoring in the back, bro. But so it started
Hella
fun.
Inconsiderate, bro.
It started fun. He had like 3 episodes of 3 a.m. to catch up on. And I was like, I was like, dude, he was like, can I listen? Because Kevin knows when I'm with him, I don't want to listen to 3 a.m. with him. So he was like, can I please catch up? And I was like, yeah, let's listen to it. And it was kind of fun because it was like, I don't know, I got to like hear all his inside jokes and what he thought was funny. And so we like listened to 3 a.m. Spirits were high, but like, I don't know.
And then you reach Kansas.
Dude, 50. Yeah. No, Nebraska sucks
14 hours
ass, bro. Nebraska
Sorry to everyone in
sucks.
Nebraska.
Dude, no, I'm not. You in Nebraska. It sucks, bro. But like Lucy at one point just starts pissing out her ass. Pissing, dude. And it's
in the car.
No. Every time we stopped for gas, she would
so
like.
She's pretty good then at like traveling and knowing like.
Yeah,
not
let me out first and then I'll relieve.
We've done like massive road trips since she was a puppy, so she's pretty good at that. But like the second her paws hit the ground, she started just shitting everywhere, and I'm like, oh no, like she's sick, bro. I was like concerned and sad. But so anyway, so we start having to like double up on gas station stops because like I can see her. She looks so uncomfortable in the car, and I'm like, wow, she's about to shit herself. So anyway, she's shitting. She's covered in gas station dirt. She's lying on me. We're getting grosser and grosser. I'm starting to smell.
Quickly, like unenjoyable.
Yeah, it just starts going down. But
like
for
you're
me,
not
because
cruising and like seeing sights. You're just trying to get to Florida.
We're on a mission, cuz.
Like, have you seen the pictures of Rihanna and A$AP Rocky taking a road trip in some ghetto bus? For like 4 months across the country.
What the?
They're like on the
COVID?
side of the road barefoot, like grilling hot dogs.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty humbling. Not humbling.
That's pretty much like what Kevin and I were doing.
Just grilling wieners on the side of the road.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, it's just kind of getting dirtier. It's getting more hectic. At one point, we stop and Kevin finds a hotel. And by this time, Lucy has been shitting almost nonstop for like 2 days. And it's kind of sad. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like concerned. I'm like looking for vets and shit. And we find a hotel that allows dogs. I walk her outside the hotel for like a solid hour and she just shits everywhere. And dude, it's like, it sprays. It's so bad. It's so bad. I feel so bad. And she goes like 10 times before we go in.
Sure.
We go in, Kevin and I find a place to get dinner. And, I'm like, move, Lucy, you got to stay here. We're going to go grab dinner. But she will not get out of my way. She's like blocking the front door. And I'm like, this is weird. She usually doesn't do that, right? So I was like, there's no way she has to shit. She just shit like 10 times. But she refuses to. So I was like, all right, I'll take her out real quick. Put a leash on her. Kevin and I get into the elevator. The elevator's going down. We're getting to the ground floor. And as like it's landing and it's about to open the doors, I look down and Lucy's just sprayed. Everywhere in the elevator. And I look at Kevin, and as I look at Kevin, the doors go ding and they slide open.
That's comical, dude.
And an entire family is standing right there.
Embarrassed.
There's like 4 or 5 kids, there's parents, there's like an uncle and a grandparent, dude. And they're sitting right there. And I look at Kevin, and Kevin looks at me. And we don't say anything, and we walk straight out as fast as we can.
Oh my gosh,
Savage, dude.
And I pull Lucy through the lobby as fast as I can. Luckily, when we get into the lobby, there's like 3 other dogs there, and one of them's a puppy. And so like, dude, I dip, dodge, and I just drag Lucy out as fast as I can. And we get out. And again, the second we got outside, dude, she shat everywhere. So it was just bad, dude.
Gosh, bro, that's
it was bad.
So bad.
God.
And then
road trip 2023.
Yeah.
Not all
when we got back, dude, I was like hiding in the elevator, and Kevin went down and he heard them say like, I think they were upstairs, like through. Anyway, they were looking for us, so we had to sneak around. But anyway, that was the bad part.
Meddling kids.
Yeah, dude. That was the bad part. The sad part. Lucy got way better like the next day.
It was dog
going
shit.
back. It was pretty dog shit, dog doo doo. There was other highlights though. Like I woke up in the middle of the night. It's probably like, I don't know, 1 or 2. And I'm like, Kevin, where are we? And he's like, we're just about in St. Louis. And I was like, Kevin, can you give me the aux? I kind of have a bucket list item. And he's like, yeah, sure. I could see the arch, the St. Louis arch. And I throw on Nelly, dude, country grammar. And I'm just like, hell yeah. And we start going over the bridge and I can see the arch. And I was like, I feel so complete right now. I feel so happy. And then I fell asleep. Another time I woke up, we're at a gas station. I look around and dude, all I see is hella black dudes and all of them are driving Escalades.
And Range Rovers.
No, I'm not joking and I'm not being stereotypical. Just Escalades. I saw like 4 or 5.
Damn.
And then there was one like white family and they looked like Honey Boo Boo. And I was like, Kevin, where are we? And he's like, we're in Georgia. We're in Atlanta. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. That makes sense. But I thought you were still in St. Louis. That's why.
Dude, no.
Down, baby. Yo Street in a Range Rover.
Something that hella surprised me was how beautiful Tennessee is, bro.
100%, bro.
I was blown away. It was so I drove from like 4 after Georgia or before, I can't even remember now. It must have been before. I was driving and it was like 4 a.m. And so I'm driving through Tennessee as the sun is like rising. The mountains are misty. Dude,
Smoky Mountains, bro.
There's creeks and rivers and lakes with little islands in the middle of them. It's
John
so
Denver's
sick.
just playing in the air.
Dude, it was so
Country
incredible.
road.
I was looking around and I was just like, this is incredible, dude. It was so pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
All I could think about though was the Civil War. And I was like, all I could imagine was like these like hella racist dudes just marching through the forest with rifles. And I was like, man, that's crazy. It's so beautiful down here. How could you have so much hate? But anyway.
Everything balances out.
Yeah. So Tennessee was cool. Lucy shat everywhere. We get to Florida. It's kind of a shit show, bro. Like, in order to move in, I had to have a money order. And then, so in order to get a money order, guess what we had to do? Go to every Walmart in Jacksonville.
For like Western
Florida.
Union type shit?
Yeah.
Get
So
a money order? What?
my introduction to Jacksonville was every Walmart in Jacksonville. And I was like, holy shit, bro. I was like, it is.
And then sends us a text and he says, I pull up to after the money order, I finally go to all the Walmarts. I go to the rental office and the dude at the desk is there. And I'm like, yo, I'm new to St. Augustine. What can you tell me about it? He's like, well, do you like Ripley's Believe It or Not? And you're like, what?
I was like, yeah. Yeah. No, he took a step further and then he's like, do you like haunted stuff? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, it's hella haunted. And I think the local paranormal investigators are looking for a member, dude. And I was like, what?
Oh,
but it's
That's
literally the
weird.
first thing someone said to me is like, do you like haunted shit? And I was like, yeah, dude.
usually it's the other way around. You asking somebody else.
I know. Dude, guess what else is down here that I'm excited about?
The Mormon Church.
Hell
Your
no.
faith. Your faith.
The Waffle House, bro.
Hey, Waffle House.
There's hella Waffle Houses around here.
I've never been to Waffle House.
Me neither. I've never been. When you guys come, we should go.
Fire, dude.
Let's go. Is it 24/7?
Yeah.
And is it Florida Waffle House where that girl blocked the chair with her arm?
Where she caught that shit?
That sounds
dude.
about right,
And
dude.
like people
Yeah,
were
it
like
probably
writing
was.
fan fictions about her. Like,
Yeah. She's probably my
defender
neighbor,
of the
dude.
Waffle House. There's also a beautiful coffee table book that's called Waffle House Vistas that I want.
Ooh.
And it's just like the most beautiful like film photography of like window pictures within Waffle Houses. And it like has a location and time and it's like really like moody. It's dope.
I love that. So if anyone wants to get us one, there's a PO box down below. But yeah, that Waffle Houses. Let me just look.
What's the wildest thing you've seen in Florida so far?
Oh man, I have a lot more. Is it boring or should I just keep going?
I don't know.
Keep
Just
going, dude.
So I moved in. There's no furniture here, so it's just Lucy and I like sleeping on the ground with a towel. The first day I start work, one of my coworkers is like, "Man, I was down like an hour south." And he was at like this alligator preserve and he said he watched a dog run past him and jump in the water and he watched an alligator eat the dog in front of everyone.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm sitting there like, holy shit, I just brought Lucy
Literally a lake
to her
behind your
death,
house, bro.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm terrified. So that's cool. I'm like super nervous about alligators. And then my stuff gets there. So like the movers get there. They got there on 4:20. So when I pulled up,
Sick.
it was so loud. Like I could smell it down the street. And it's like these like 5 black dudes in the van, and they pull up, and I was like, I thought it's not legal in Florida. And they just all laughed, and they're like, it is if you have a medical card. And I was like, oh, well,
okay.
There you go. And then anyway, so I was chatting with them, but
that feels more normal to you, doesn't it?
What?
Because you grew up with that.
Just the smell of weed?
Yeah. Well, also like I'm also thinking about like your wife with her name being MJ.
Oh yeah, Mary Jane.
Like Mary Jane, and like her story about how all growing up in Portland, everyone would be like, "Oh, Mary Jane, sick." Yeah. And then she moves to Utah, and then everyone's like, "Oh, Mary Jane, like Spider-Man's girlfriend."
Yeah.
And then now you're back in Florida where it's back to normal.
Yeah. Where it's like, yeah. Well, dude, that's actually another thing too. It's weird. I'm really feeling not living in Utah because I've been in Utah for the last decade, bro. So now that I'm here, it's like, holy shit. Like I was like, I mentioned something like, oh, my ward, and like everyone in the office is like, you're what? And I was like, oh, that's a Mormon term. I was like, so yeah, I am feeling it. But anyway, the movers get there, and one of them's this hella old black dude. And I don't know how, but he tells me his whole life story in the first like 10 minutes of meeting him. And he's like, I'm 50% Cherokee. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I was like asking about Florida. I was asking about Jacksonville. And then he was trying to help me put. It was kind of cool. He would just say
like Kanye
things.
wrote a song about you.
Did he?
Yeah, I think black skinhead.
Oh my gosh!
Is the name of the song?
The dude was bald, dude. He was very proud Floridian, and he was bald. So yeah, it probably was about him. But he would just he would just drop gems on me. Like all of a sudden, he'd be like, gators, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, go for the eyes and the nose, and then he would like walk away, dude. And he like walked away. I was like, okay,
that's valuable advice, to be honest.
I know, dude. It was crazy. And then what'd he do? Okay, so at one point he's trying to help me put my table together. And I built my table myself, so it's pretty janky, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't even understand. Like, where does this go? Where does this go? And I was like, yeah. I built it myself, so it's pretty Jimmy rigged. And he's like, whoa, hold up there. He's like, I'm gonna forget you just said that. And I was like, is that a bad word? My bad. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. And he's like, yeah, but it's it's okay. It's okay. You didn't mean anything. And then he like kept it moving. And in my head, I was like,
same dude
didn't tell you why?
Well, he was just like, he was like, I'm gonna forget you said that. And so like, I was like, damn it, dude. I've been in Florida like 2 minutes and I already said something hella racist, bro. I was like, gosh, damn it. So dude, that got me thinking, and I looked it up, and dude,
like that's a Mormon term. Sorry.
yeah. Oh, dude, it is. It's like, yeah, it means Lamanite. Yeah, no. But I looked it up, and so the origins aren't racist. Jimmy rig comes from jury rig, which is a sailor's term, and it's like how you fix something. So there's Jimmy, Jerry, or jury, and they all come from jury rig. So it's like an old sailor's term, nothing to do with race. But at some point, people started saying the N-word rigged. And so that's why people think it's race. Yeah, I'd never heard that, bro. I was like, I didn't know people either. I didn't know people were saying that shit. You probably heard like Filipino rigged or something in Hawaii. But yeah, so I didn't know that.
Lazy Hawaiian rigged.
Yeah. So this dude just thought I was like straight up just casually being racist to him in my home. I was like, gosh damn it.
That's rude, dude.
Yeah, but so y'all learned something today. It's not actually racist, but some people still find it offensive. So my bad, dude.
People choose to be offended.
Yeah. He was pretty cool about it, though. He's like, I'm going to forget you said that. I was like, thank you. Oh, dude. So I am the head of a creative team down here. That's my new job. And it's getting hard staying on task. Every time we have a team meeting, it devolves into me going down like an hour and a half rabbit hole. So I taught our whole team about Agartha and the inner earth. I taught them about Tartaria. I taught them about dude.
They're obviously
I went
into it
so deep. Yeah, dude. Well, I'm their boss, so I'm sitting here being like, "Are you actually interested, or are you just placating me, dude?" And either way, dude, You should see our whiteboard it's like all of our action items that we're trying to finish this week. And then all these drawings of Stonehenge and the pyramid and like the King's Chamber. And this is where the Anunnaki landed and Planet X. And dude, it's so funny, bro. So
KPIs
every Friday
and FBI.
100% CIA and 9/11. Every Friday we just go down I allow us like 2 hours of just rabbit holes. So the last time I taught him about do you remember the Who I Smoke rap video in Jacksonville?
Yep.
I put that on and we watched it as a team. And they were like, I had no idea.
What a great boss, dude, honestly.
Hey, company culture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There you
Build
go.
that culture. That's great.
To something else I have more, so y'all are going to have to stop me. I have like 6 more points. Something I'm experiencing hella much is like I grew up in California. I lived in Australia. Then I lived in Utah for the last decade. So like I'm pretty familiar with those demographics. And I'm already like having these experiences where I'm like, I've never lived around like Cubans. You know what I mean? Or a lot of Puerto Ricans or like Southern black people.
I relate to that. I haven't either.
Or like the utter lack of Mexicans, bro. Like I've been trying to scope out food, and I am sad to say there's not a lot of good food around here.
Whoa.
And I was asking like coworkers, I was like, yo, y'all have any good food, any good Mexican? And they were like, oh, we have a great Mexican food. It's amazing. And I was like, is it?
Taco Bell? Did they say Taco Bell?
That's what they told you in Utah, dude.
Yeah.
The Cafe Rio.
It's true here because they were like, she was like, it's like really authentic Mexican food. It's amazing. They have the best white queso sauce. And I was like, bitch,
No.
bitch.
You want to walk that back?
That is not Mexican food,
Queso
dog.
Blanco?
Yeah.
Chipotle?
Dude, the food is ass cheeks. Except today, MJ and I found some bomb ass food that we're going to take you guys to when you come.
Yes.
Let's go.
So
Yes,
anyway,
I'm
there's
excited.
no Mexicans here, but there
Have
are
you had Cuban food?
I
Have
haven't
you had a
yet.
Cubano yet?
No, I haven't yet. We'll have
Bro,
to find
I just
it.
hit up the Buc-ee's and
'Cause
in
I'm also
classic
northern
gas
Florida.
station fashion.
Sean
Dude,
told me
Buc-ee's is kinda
Buc-ee's is
lit.
better than Wawa.
Okay. Off the pod.
We're on pod, bro.
No, dog, it's permanent.
How do I say this? Off the pod, I would agree. But on the pod, not on the pod. Nah, bro. Wawa for life. You know what I mean?
Damn, that's high standards because Wawa is.
Wawa is
is
great.
it.
It's great.
But Wawa's all I know when it
Buc-ee's
comes to.
bananas, bro.
Quality.
Buc-ee's
crazy.
Tell me about it. Why? What's
Everybody else.
different?
Dude, they got Ertang. They have like a huge
That's
food
what
court.
Wawa's is, though. In
Nah,
my
bro.
mind.
Nah, come down. Nah,
What does
you'll-
Buc-ee's
you'll-
have that
We're going to
Wawa's don't?
Buc-ee's, dude.
So Wawa is like, let's just say a Taco Bell.
Okay.
Buc-ee's
Yeah.
is like Costco.
Oh,
They got everything you'd
Bro,
ever
they got
need.
smoked meats there. They got
A huge clothing
everything,
section,
bro.
like a huge like taxidermy section. They have like tools.
that's kinda
tools
weird,
and
actually, when I'm
floaties and
about
shit. And then they have like a
that
meat
sounds
aisle.
novelty.
Dude.
they have a
it's
whole
crazy.
section
animal
of novelties,
t-shirts.
bro. Yeah.
You
Buc-ee's
get your
is
keychains
wild,
with your
bro.
name on them.
Yeah.
And then they just have this big arena in the middle with like 30 chefs or culinary
got
artists.
burgers,
And you just
pulled
pull up and you
pork,
say like, I want this, and this.
tater
And they're like-
tots, everything.
they make your shit right there, bro. It's wild, cuz. Buc-ee's is
We're
bananas.
for sure going there. I'm going to go there on my way to your house just because I'm going to. I got to get
So
some
Buc-ee's
I'm
is a
down.
southern thing.
I think it's
Yeah.
out of Texas originally. But
Texas?
Yeah, southern.
That's in Florida too.
Yeah, there were at least 2 Buc-ee's in Florida's that I seen.
And then Wawa's East Coast, but not even all of the East Coast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they go
it's
all the
more
way
right.
down
Northern
to
East.
Florida, though.
Real quick, I got to let Lucy out. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, do your thing. Damn, that's crazy. Maybe while Charles is doing that, Sean,
Yo,
you went to go visit Charles.
yes.
Yeah, that wasn't planned.
No. So, what happened was I was planning on going to Colombia. And as I get to Florida, my second-rate Colombian flight on the airline, Avianca, flights were canceled and I'm stuck in Miami. So I'm there for like a week until my return flights that aren't canceled are supposed to be. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to hang out here for a couple days and then go up to St. Augustine. It was like a 4-hour drive, 4.5-hour drive. So not even that far. So I drove on up, knocked on the door. They're like, oh, well, we didn't know you were coming. At least they pretended.
Wow, that's very nice.
That's bullshit. What are you talking about? I found out you missed your flight. I was like, please come up here. And Sean, this is how Sean asks if he could come up. He goes, can I get you guys dinner tomorrow or something? I was like, what do you mean? Like, I had no idea.
Charles was like, yeah, just drop it off at the door.
Yeah, I was like, you want to
sure.
dash it for us?
Yeah, take a picture for verification.
Yeah. Do we want to? So, for Sean's part though, like him coming, that's going to kind of lead
into stories.
So, do you want to do your thing first, or how do you want to do this?
We can. Don't matter.
We can do that.
Last thing I'll say, MJ, me, and Baby are having a really good time. We live 15 minutes from a really nice beach. I left work early on Friday. We went and got the best pizza I've ever had, and we go chill at the beach, and it's been fun. So
nice.
We're doing well. The job is crazy, but I'm learning a lot. So I'm very grateful.
That's dope.
I'm very happy to hear that.
And we're excited because we barely scratched the surface of exploring around here. So we're excited.
You know what's something I'm personally excited about?
What's that?
Is I don't know. Maybe this is too personal, but the last month or two has been like the most consistently happy I've been.
Whoa.
In years and years and years and years.
That's awesome,
like,
dog.
Usually the ebb and flow is pretty drastic. Like,
you drama boy.
Waking up
Emo.
sad or depressed like for a week, and then a couple days is
sad?
All right. Y'all, how often do y'all wake up happy?
Every day, dog.
Do you really?
No, that's not true. I'm usually tired if I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say yeah, usually same.
I feel like it's more often than not adults wake up meh. All right.
Yeah. I have neither feelings either way. I'm
right?
Like, yeah.
I wouldn't say I wake up sad. I would if I wake up I'm just
either.
tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tired or meh, right?
Yeah. I would say just meh.
Yeah.
I'm
like another
indifferent.
Day. Like it's so easy as adults to get into the monotony of things.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's like I don't know, last 2 months I've been like waking up kind of like decently happy every day, and it's very.
Is this
strange.
a BetterHelp ad? What are you doing?
No,
I'm just kidding.
Therapy has helped. Did I talk about on the podcast? I think I told you guys, but how like when I bought tickets for Japan, I'm like, I should save a little more money for Japan. And one of the things I crossed off to save money was therapy. And I was like, travel will be my therapy.
Yeah. It's
and
like
then it
gym,
got pretty
therapy,
bad in like
food.
January, and I was like, I should go to therapy again. And then it helped, and then I went to Japan, and it was good. And then I've just been busy creatively.
There you go.
And I think it's the medication too, to be honest, is what I've. That's a part of it. But anyway, I don't know why I'm sharing that. I like not to boast, but like it is something I'm.
That's
excited
good though.
about.
That's dope.
And things ebb and flow, so this won't last forever. But a lot of it is because I have a lot of good people around me, and I'm just very grateful for those people.
It's weird. I think
Get me here.
you started getting really happy like right when I moved to Florida. I think.
No lie was told.
Honestly,
That's really
And you
strange.
know-
That's odd.
I think another factor on why I'm happy right now
Just Charles
is because it's a special time of the year. Specifically, it's a special month. May. What is this? What is the month?
Is this?
I'll use
Culture
colors to
Awareness
indicate
Day?
how hot you are. Right now, you're yellow.
I'm drinking pineapple.
Is it
Hey.
Asian and Islander Awareness Month?
Yes.
Bro, why do they
take it.
put us
We'll take
together?
it.
Why
We'll
do they
take it,
put us
right?
together?
Right? So, with it being Asian American Pacific Islander Month, it is at the end of it, and we weren't going to let you slip away without
Without seeing
me
if I
and
care.
Charles, me and Charles being a little just curious about your relation to
You
it
better
all.
colonize some education right now, Sean.
Yeah, so we wanted to
Well, shit.
give
Can,
you
can 3/4 of me
the-
take this test too?
everybody listening right now. I have on the screen, does Sean care about AAPI Heritage Month, the quiz?
Let's go. Let's go.
We're about to get into it. So,
Welp.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay, here's how we're gonna do it. Since we have people who tune in just through the podcast and not the live stream.
Okay.
Let me read the question.
And then I answer.
Some of them will have answers. Let me read the possible answers.
Okay.
And then you can go
So we're
through.
going Jeopardy mode. You read the question and the answers.
And then I'll give you your time.
Okay.
Feel free to take your time too. You don't have to. It's not a race.
Okay.
You know. You don't have to get straight to it. You walk us through your thought process.
Okay. I'm really curious what this quiz is now.
And you go and see, and we go and learn. Okay. Okay. Starting with the first. Finish the sentence. I wonder if you know blank. If you see me, then you mean it blank. Fast and Furious blank blank blank.
I have no idea even how to answer this.
Okay, let me get the cadence a little better for you. I wonder if you know blank.
Something Tokyo.
If you see me, then you mean it.
Can't remember that line.
Fast and Furious.
Can't remember that line either.
Are you serious, bro? Are you serious? You even like Fast and Furious, you piece of shit.
I haven't seen the last 3 films in this Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah, but this is the third. This is the
best one.
Best one in the franchise.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh, not off to a strong start.
No,
If
we're
I
not
say so
doing great.
myself.
Seta.
Are you going to fill in the answers so that I know?
Charles, go.
Wonder if you know. If you see me, then something you go.
Oh my gosh, you're not doing
You
well
can't give me
either.
shit.
Here,
You can't
here,
If you see me,
here it
then you
is.
mean it. Then you know you have to go. Fast and Furious. Drift.
Yes, there we go. I
the
wonder if
teriyaki
you
boys.
know if they live in Tokyo.
That's what
If
I
you
said.
See me, then you mean it. Then you know you have to go.
I am
Fast
the
and
DK.
Furious.
I am the Drift King.
Drift.
You are Gaijin, dude. Gaijin.
It's all right. You didn't do that. You did okay. You recognized what it was, but you didn't
Yes.
remember the words verbatim.
No.
You'll have more chances to prove yourself. So
Okay. Let's not off to a strong start here, guys.
You're good. Next question. What's the name of the rap group that wrote the 2006 hit single Tokyo Drift? Is it 1, Steven Hiroyuki Aoki? 2, Far East Movement?
Oh, fly.
3, Teriyaki Guys? Or 4,
I want to be ninja.
Jennifer Murphy Go Girl?
Okay. We're going to cross off Stephen Aoki
Okay.
and we're going to cross off Jennifer Murphy Go Girl.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that I rented the Tokyo Drift soundtrack from the library at one point.
Wait.
That's
Say
a
that
true-
sentence again. Say that again.
I rented the Tokyo Drift soundtrack from the library
Holy shit.
back when it was just CDs.
That's a true 2000s kid experience.
And I
I don't
can't
think
remember
anyone has
which
that
of
experience.
I think that's a brand new sentence. Like
It
in
is.
the history of mankind.
So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's not those two. I cannot remember where I've seen Far East Movement, but
Oh my
it
gosh,
sounds
dude.
familiar.
You're right with it not being Steve Aoki and Jennifer Murphy Go Girl.
I am going to say Teriyaki Guys.
Okay. Can
You
I
know what?
answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's none of these.
You got bamboozled, boy, because it is Teriyaki Boys,
I knew that.
not Teriyaki Guys.
Damn.
So trick question.
Trick question.
Luckily, it's the only trick question that I have in here.
Okay, yeah, I was
Doubt
gonna
it,
start
dude.
watching
Never
those.
trust a sneaky
You
AAPI.
you're on the right track. I made it a little difficult for you from the get-go. So
Yeah, we're 0 for 2 right now. So
Sean just drifting over points right now.
okay, let's go next. Which tattoo style do you prefer?
Oh. Arigato.
Asian? Or Polynesian?
Uh-oh.
You have your classic Asian with the koi fish and the dragons.
Yeah.
You have your white frat boy with the Chinese characters down his back.
Yeah.
That says "come in my back."
And then you got the Polynesian tribal.
Yeah.
You got the Maori face tattoos.
Okay.
You got Aquaman in there.
Bro,
That's kind of
for the one picture on the bottom right of the Asian style. I can't. I like that one best.
Seduced by the weems.
I like the Polynesian style the best. That's my answer.
Oh, dude, that's treason.
I'm doing it for you.
Okay, so Sean goes Asian tattoos. There's no right or wrong answer on that one.
Yeah,
obviously.
this is subjective.
Okay, cool. Next question. Who puts down more spam musubis? We have the duo Moana and Maui,
Okay.
or the duo Lilo and Stitch.
Oh shit.
A demigod and a literal alien.
Okay. Well, I personally think that Stitch is putting down a shit ton of spam musubis. I think he'd probably beat out Maui. That's my final answer.
All right. Okay, next question. As declared in the DCOM sequel, continuing with the Disney theme, High School Musical 2, what is Hawaii's state fish? In English, it's known as the triggerfish. And I'm not giving you options for this. This is just open-ended question.
It was mentioned in High School Musical 2.
There's a whole song about it, dog. Making it easy for you.
There was a song about it?
Yes.
High School Musical 2. Bet on it. That's the only song I can think of.
Okay, I'm gonna take a wild guess. Is it Mahi?
It is not mahi. Only one mahi.
I don't know. High School Musical, dude.
The question is, or the answer is, humu humu nuku nuku apua.
Oh my gosh, Tembo knew in chat.
Oh my gosh.
Good job, Tembo. Good job for watching your DComs. Knowing your
Damn.
DCom history. Okay.
Right. Well,
Wow. Maybe I made these a little too hard for you, Sean.
I would never have guessed humu whatever pakua.
Okay, I need to with this next one. Oh wait, okay, no. This one's still objective. There's more subjective ones that I need to hear your
Blackpink.
opinions. But at Coachella 2023, this K-pop group made history as the first ever Asian group to headline an American music festival. BTS, Blackpink, Big Bang, or Twice?
Blackpink, final answer.
I would have said BTS.
Sean, you're right.
Wow.
Do
Blackpink
follow
in
every
your
single
area.
one of them on Instagram.
Be careful. I think 2 of them are under 18, so
There's no way, dude.
there is a way.
There's no way.
Good job. Plugged in at least into the pop culture side.
I'm
of-
not even going to
side
say
of
I
our culture.
don't have a song or two from them on my playlist.
Okay. Next. What's for dinner?
Oh.
Poi
Ew.
or balut?
Ew. Filipinos are
My
Asian.
answer is
Not just kidding.
balut.
What?
I with balut,
That
bro.
is also an incorrect answer. I like balut, but dude, poi.
I like poi too, but I would throw down 6 of those things like a night.
I doubt you like poi.
I only remember having it once and thinking it was okay.
I thought I got fed poi at a wedding, and I was like, nah, I don't know about this, cuz I think they
in
flew
my
it over from
experience, I
Hawaii
haven't-
and it sat in a car somewhere for a while.
I haven't met a single non-local Hawaiian who likes poi. Likes
Now
poi.
I have to try it again to verify.
I want Hawaiians to love me so bad, but I won't even lie and say I like poi.
Poi is a superfood. It's so good for you. But it's basically the taro root and mashed up into a paste and
Okay.
added with water. And it's like
So it's
the
like
consistency of
mashed
like
potatoes.
no, it's like a
It's like a loogie.
it's like a
It's like a watery Laffy Taffy.
it's like a more like viscous
Is this supposed to be sour, dude?
Sometimes it's a little sour. Sometimes it's a little sweet.
Dude, the one I had was sour.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll add sugar. Like real Hawaiians don't like that. They want it straight
They
sour.
want it straight.
Yeah. And you have
I'm pretty sure mine was not sour though, so it may have been like added with hella sugar.
And traditional Hawaiian, this is going to sound disgusting, but your Western culture. But there's a single bowl of poi in the middle of the table, and everybody eats it with their fingers.
Bro, I
So,
dude, that's preschool, son.
Yeah, y'all haven't been to Hawaii for real. So,
explain what balut is for anyone who's just listening.
Balut is a fermented duck egg.
A delicacy.
It looks like a nutsack on the screen.
In the Philippines. Yeah.
You'll let it just kind of ferment for anywhere from 10 to 21 days.
Yeah.
Once you get to 21 days, there's a full-grown duck in there that you're just munching down on. Yeah.
You get the 18-day one, it's a little mush.
Bro, I usually go with like 14 to 16.
Ooh, okay.
So like
sickos, bro.
Basically like a boiled egg.
I noticed sushi wasn't up here because that would have been an easy answer.
What is it?
I said I noticed sushi wasn't up here because that would have been the easiest answer.
It's too easy, bro.
Yeah.
Balut actually is not bad. The idea of it is gross, but the taste of it is
I liked it, dude.
Chicken, you know? So okay. Next question. Who is your sidekick that will fight to the death with you?
Okay.
We have
okay.
The Last Airbender. We have Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli.
Okay.
And we have the All Blacks.
Okay. Well, we're fighting to the death.
This is your sidekick. You don't know who you're fighting yet either.
We don't know if they're magic beings because, like, if I'm choosing Aang or Lord of the Rings, there are magic beings in that conversation, which means that simply going with the All Blacks means we're going to be at a disadvantage.
I mean, the All Blacks were the Lord of the Rings too. They played all the Uruk-hai and the orcs.
That's true.
Hey, that's true, cuz.
And I threw Lord of the Rings in there because it was filmed in New Zealand, right?
Right.
So
I was wondering where that came from, actually.
Dude, the All Blacks be like, you have my rugby ball. It's like,
okay. Well, based on the fact that I don't know if we're going to be facing any sort of magical beings, I have to choose someone that can also like fight that battle, and that means I'm going with Avatar Aang.
Crazy, a lot of faith in an Asian child.
if I need someone
when
to
he fights the freaking Fire Lord Ozai, bro, fire episodes.
No pun intended. Bro, so how can you not pick Aang? Aang's the answer, dog.
Aang's one person though. The All Blacks, you got a whole team with you.
Bro, you can't throw like a god in there, dog.
I also didn't specify if he was like he just emerged out of the ice Aang.
Yeah,
versus,
was
like,
this
Master
when we needed the Avatar most he disappeared Aang? Or
So
fighting Fire Lord Ozai Aang?
I didn't think about that. So we'll stick with the OP Aang for now. Okay. Whose heart are you trying to earn? Who are you fighting for? We have Gogo Yubari from Kill Bill.
Okay.
We have Korra.
Okay.
If you're feeling a little progressive. We have Android HE.
Damn, that's a casual
Dragon Ball
photo
Z?
that you chose right there.
Yeah, I ruined our
what is that, Deviant Art?
our 3 a.m. Search history a little bit, organizing all of this. We have the Sailor Scouts, all of them from Sailor Moon, and we have the live action.
Boo! Boo!
And I kept it within the Asian within like the Asian group because I know that's your type. So
Okay. Well, this is the toughest one we've had so far.
This is the easiest one, dog.
I think this also speaks to your sexual preferences. Looking at Gogo Yubari with a literal ball and chain.
Literal ball and chain.
Someone in chat brings up a good point. I noticed Sokka's not on here. I noticed Ryu is not on here. What's going on there?
Chun-Li not in here. Chun-Li is cheat code though.
Okay, yeah, it's true.
Too easy. I picked kind of like B tier.
B tier.
Dude, Asians don't get B's, bro.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If I pick the Sailor Moon crew, there's 5 of them.
I'm going to Google how old Sailor Moon is real quick.
I'm pretty sure if we Google ages, I'm not going to be able to pick many of them.
At the start of the series, Usagi is 14 years old. By the end, she is 16.
At the start of the series, I was also 12 years old. So I remember seeing that come on after Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network and being like, damn. So
dude, there's one right answer here.
I don't know what your right answer is. This is very
I already know who
subjective,
Charles is choosing.
I am physically most attracted to, even though the movie is terrible, Mulan.
Of course, he picks the real life person. Sean's not no weeb out here,
bro. Android,
I'm sorry,
cuz
I know.
Bro. Also
I knew you
a
were
good
going with
option,
Android.
dude.
1,000%.
This
Vegeta and I just
this
have
is a tough one.
Yeah.
I so badly was hunting for one of those like anime waifu mouse pads with like the boobies on them for Charles to bring back, but I couldn't find any.
Oh,
Messed up, dude.
did you even go to Japan?
Oh, honestly, no. Who is the evil army you will face in battle?
Okay, let's see.
Option 1, the Yakuza,
Okay.
but it is under the guise of a blood red moon.
Oh shit.
Or Polynesians, but
Dude,
they are waiting in line to go to all you can eat restaurant.
so they're extra
Golden
angry
Corral.
because they're hungry.
Yeah, they're pissed. Look at this dude.
They're also
This dude on the left is so mad.
Holy
they
bro, it's
haven't
so
eaten
terrifying.
yet, so they don't have probably as much energy.
Ooh, that's smart though. That's a little smart.
Do not be fooled.
But I don't know.
Bro, I personally have to fight the Yakuza, bro.
1,000%.
I would freaking die so fast. Either way.
I'd rather fight all the Yakuza in existence than just those 2 guys on the right.
Same.
Holy shit. The guy on the left looks like half the bishops that I served for. Just so disgusted
And he's the smallest in his family, dude.
Yeah. Eldest, just keep doing.
I should have gave the Yakuza a little more power to balance it out.
Yeah, the Yakuza have samurai swords and Uzis.
The real question is, am I standing in front of the Golden Corral, between them and the Golden Corral?
Sure, yeah.
And
Well,
the
shit, now I'm not
Polynesians
gonna
have a
fight that
tranquilizer in their neck.
Yeah.
They've been hit with a trank for an elephant. So you have to survive 20 minutes.
Well, it looks like I am fighting Yakuza, dude.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd fight the Yakuza as well.
Cool. Okay. Final question.
I think I would start crying fighting the Yakuza, and they would be so ashamed fighting me, how weak I am, that they'd stop fighting me.
Yeah, they just give you senpuku.
Yeah, they'd be all right. Let's just get out of here.
Off yourself, dog.
Yeah.
Okay, final question.
Final question.
Final boss.
Whoa.
2 options.
Oh, shit,
The Rock
dude.
from Walking Tall, armed with his 2x4,
Not
Or-
Black Adam.
or The Last Samurai, Tom Cruise, armed with his samurai sword
Well, I want this fight to be...
and his horse.
And his horse. I want this
Oh,
fight to
shit.
be an honorable battle. So I have to take the stronger of the 2 opponents. So I have to fight The Rock.
I'm gonna
If
fight
you
Tom
take Tom
Cruise.
Cruise with all of the samurai, that's a tough fight. But just Tom Cruise alone, bro, he's like 5'6", and he got lucky in that first fight.
You're fighting what's in the picture right now. Tom Cruise on his horse with a sword,
I'm still more afraid of The Rock, dude.
in his jeans and t-shirt with a 2x4.
I'm gonna fight Tom Cruise, and I'm gonna eat his horse.
Nah, dude, that's Zion, dude. That's Kiona.
Hey,
And
I've
me.
been there.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
taking The Rock.
What's
Still
the verdict?
taking The Rock.
Is Sean racist?
Yeah, am I racist?
Give him a score. Tabulate.
Yeah, what's my score?
these questions didn't like lead to any point system or conclusion.
That's the poly in you making this test.
I was just coming up with the most the dumbest questions I could think of real quick.
That was
before
fun.
we got on.
Actually, could the people I fight for be Blackpink? Actually,
no, not in my world.
damn it.
Dude, I thought you straight up with the teriyaki boys. I was like, damn, DJ sucks, bro. Teriyaki guys? Who's that?
Yeah, the bamboozle, dude. Dope.
Well, come on, give some
Sean,
sort of verdict for the people listening.
Yeah.
Sean stuck around with us for this long. So based off of a tenure alone, I'd say he cares about Asian American Pacific Islanders.
Yeah, sure. Nice, Sean. I would say
I'll give
so
it a
too.
I'd give a nice solid sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll take a sure, dude.
Good job, Sean. You
Win's
pass.
a win.
And you know what? We care about you too.
Oh, thank goodness. Because I don't have my own month.
Yeah, you get all the
y'all
other
got
months.
July 4th, dog.
July 4th.
Y'all got the whole month of July.
No, bro. It's half July 4th and half Pioneer Day. And I don't with Pioneer Day.
Okay. What's the next? What next do we have on?
Yeah, what do we have next?
You got the list, dog.
I have so much. I have a story I could go into, and then I might have to get out of here because it's already 12.
Okay, let's get into it.
I have an incident that leads into a story tonight. And you might be wondering, someone said it in chat earlier. They said, Charlie, take off that hat and show us your beautiful haircut. I won't do that. But what I will say is, so when I got here, my hair was hella long. So I was driving around. I haven't gotten a haircut from someone at a shop for so long. I've been cutting my own hair, right? But I figured, with a more melanated population down here, maybe I could find someone who could actually cut hair. Do you know what I'm saying?
Makes
so
sense.
I found this great clips right near my house.
Talk about false advertising, dude.
I know.
Great clips,
like
super cuts. It's just more propaganda.
More like most of the time sucks ass. That's what that should be called.
And then sports clips. Why?
I don't know. It's like catch this football and get a fade.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Guys,
so here's the thing.
Sports.
I was traumatized because I grew up in California. I grew up in Central California, so hella Mexicans. And you can get the best fade of your life for like $12 in California. So I just kind of like took for granted that I thought everywhere was like that. And then I went and served a mission with Polynesians for 2 years where like every Tongan person with their eyes closed could just like, woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do it super nice. So then I moved to Utah and I was like, I need to get my hair cut. And I walk in and I'm like, wow, $30 is kind of steep for a buzz, for a fade. But I'll pay it, I need a cut. And I went a total of like 3 times. And these white girls who just graduated hair school effed up my head more than anything. It looked like a Mayan temple. It was just like steps up. And I have just been, I was so pissed. So I've been cutting my hair for the last 10 years. But now that I'm in Florida, I was like, all right, let's try this one more time. So I went to the Great Clips. I peeked my little head in. And I saw 2 beautiful sisters working, and I was like, "All right, we're good." So I was like, I walked in, and I was like, "Can you fade?" And she was like, "Yeah, I could." So she gave me a great haircut. I was like, "Amazing!" And that was like right when I moved down here, right? Well, I wanted to get my haircut like a couple days ago, so I went to the same Great Clips. I peeked my head in, and the lady who did it last time wasn't there, but there was a new lady, and I was like, "Okay, let's try." I should mention, I had taken an edible. So I was pretty like zesty by this time. Like I was pretty gone. So I even had a picture of my hair that the lady did last time. And I showed her and I was like, can you do this? And she's like, for sure. So I sat down and immediately red flags. She was kind of like arguing with other employees there. She was really distracted. She like pulled up her clippers and she looked at me all fast. And then she was like, I haven't cut anyone else's hair with this all day yet. and then she didn't clean it. And I was like, okay. No. I was like, this is sketchy. And then she like took a really long time to sweep, even though I was sitting in the chair. It was crazy. And then she starts cutting my hair. And this is how she's cutting my hair. So imagine I'm sitting in the chair like this with my cape on, and I'm looking in the mirror, and she's looking at me in the mirror, and her eyes are locked on my eyes as she's going like this to my head. And if you're just listening, what I did was she was staring into my eyes while her hands were cutting the top of my head. And bro, I was just watching this go down, and I was like, this is the worst cut I've ever got. But I was like too high to say anything, and I was just like, hey, you know, this looks great, dude. I was like, yep, keep it going. And so anyway, while we're talking, I just kind of like, I was like, whatever, I might as well get something out of this. So I was like, where are you from? And she's like, oh, I'm St. Jonian. I'm from St. John. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I've never met anyone from St. John. I was like, how many people are on St. John? She's like, I don't know, but I'm probably related to like all of them. So I got Google out, and it was like, you know, close to 3,000 people on St. John. So she has 30 siblings. And her dad comes from a family of 80 siblings.
Holy
80, cow. 80 siblings. So she's like, I literally am related to like half the island. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I was like, do y'all like, what's like a traditional like St. Jonian dish? And so she's explaining. I was like, what is it like living there? And she explains that. She explains how she hasn't been back in a really long time. And then she's talking about how her family and how she grew up, and she's just an island girl. Like that's what she kept saying. And I was like, that's crazy. And then at one point I felt comfortable enough. I was like, so do y'all have any like superstitions down there? And she's like, huh. And she goes, yes. You've never heard of the Cowfoot woman? And I was like, what? You ever heard of the Cowfoot woman? And I was like, what? So like from what I just said, Sean, what do you think she said?
Cowfoot woman.
Exactly. That's exactly what she said. I was like, no, what's that? And basically the Cowfoot woman, she told me, is like a boogeyman that they tell their kids who are not behaving. And so I went and I looked up some Cowfoot woman stories, and it's pretty generic. It's like there's a young boy on the island. Every time he gets in trouble, his mom makes him go and sit on the porch. And she eventually joins him, and she'll knit or she'll tell story. Mm-hmm. And as I was like researching, storytelling is super important in St. John. It's like a you can receive like awards for it or titles. Like I was watching a St. Jonian documentary, and as they were going through town, they were like, they ran into a guy on the street, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's Mr. So-and-so, like world-renowned storyteller. Because like that's how they pass on tradition. That's how they pass on their stories. So everything I tell you, it's from her and her perspective. There's a lot of different perspectives and beliefs on like the culture and religion down there. So I'll just tell you what she told me. But anyway, so when the young boy gets in trouble, his mom would send him out onto the porch to sit. And she would eventually come and join him. And she'd crochet or she'd tell story. And the young boy just had to sit there every time he was in trouble. And he wasn't a bad kid. He wasn't mean. He was just a naughty boy, is what the story said. He was a naughty boy. And so people would pass, and mom would talk to them. And she would say, you better actually, there's I can't look it up. Give me 1 second. She had like I'm going to read it. She had like a song she would sing to her son. She would say, so the boy's name was Reggie. And when he'd get in trouble, mom would say, listen to what your mommy say. Do whatever she do. Listen to what your mommy say, or the Cowfoot woman gonna come for you. So she would say that. Basically, terrifying. She described the Cowfoot woman to the boy. And the Cowfoot woman is an old crone, an old woman, angry, dark, mysterious. One of her feet is human, and one of her feet is a cow's hoof. And if you are naughty, she comes out of the forest and she snatches children and she eats them whole, or she takes them back and they never return. He hears this and he's like, whatever, this bullshit, ma. And he's naughty, and she makes him sit on the porch, and he's a naughty boy, and she makes him sit on the porch. And then one day mom says, I need you to go into town and I need you to go get me some milk. But when you come back, do not take the shortcut. Do not take the alley. It's dangerous. Go the right way. So what did little Reggie do? What did Reginald do? He got the milk and he said, you, Mom. I'm taking the alley.
Bumbleclat.
Yeah. Yeah. Shut your dirty ass up. Be quiet. I'm going on the alley. So he goes in the alley, and he's taken this alley before. He's done this many times. But for some reason, this day felt different. It said, the sounds of the street and the neighbors yelling to one another, he could not hear. The shadows seemed to be longer, and the alley seemed to be darker. And as he's about halfway down, he hears a noise behind him. And the noise he hears is a step, scrape, clop. Step, scrape, clop. And Reginald freezes in his tracks. And his ears, everything's heightened. Goosebumps through his arms. And he hears it again, but this time closer. And faster. Step, scrape, clop. Step, scrape, clop. Reginald takes off running. It's almost like pitch black in the alley now. And as he's listening, he's like confused where it's coming from. He looks up, he looks around, he turns and he runs right into something solid. And whatever it is grabs him super fast, super hard. Instantly, he screams. He thinks the cowfoot woman has got me. I'm about to die. And his whole face is filled with the aroma of tobacco. And he looks up at the figure, expecting to see something terrifying. And he sees his grandmother. And his grandmother has a long, thin cigarette in her mouth. And she's not looking at him. She's looking right over his shoulder. And Reginald quickly turns around and he says he sees like the tree line and he sees all the bushes moving as something super fast like is moving up into the forest away. And he goes, Grandma, like, what are you doing here? And she goes, I was sitting on the porch and something told me I better come find you. And you're lucky I did because I just saw the cowfoot woman take off into the bushes. He's like, Grandma, you don't smoke? And she goes, I don't. But the cowfoot woman hates the smell of tobacco. So when I knew she was after you, I lit one up and I came as fast as I could. And the boy picked up his milk and he went home and he listened to his mother from that day on. And he did not do anything to incur the wrath of the cowfoot woman. So anyway, I'm sitting in my chair. She tells me about the cowfoot woman. She tells me that's what comes, it like kills kids. It takes them away. And that's what they use to scare. And she's like, that one's just kind of a wives' tale. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's a good start. And it's so funny because I told her, I was like, I have never met anyone from St. John. I've never met anyone like straight from like the Virgin Islands or anything. So I've never heard like this stuff. You know what I mean? I have no reference for it. And so every time she would say something new, she was like, you never heard about this? Like, you never heard about that? And meanwhile, she's like f***ing my head up. And
which, by the way,
yeah,
I found something on the cowfoot woman.
Oh, let's hear it.
Granted, the source is Urban Dictionary.
Okay,
but it is 80% upvoted.
Oh, okay.
If you know how Urban Dictionary works,
Yeah.
you know they have the different definitions, and it's crowd sourced, funded, not funded, but like approved. But the definition says crazy voodoo lady from St. Thomas Island. In the 40s, the cowfoot woman worked in a meat packing factory. Her leg was caught in one of the machines and was replaced by a cow leg sewed back onto her leg.
Oh,
and then it goes
terrifying.
into the tobacco thing, which I was reading, and then you brought that up. So the people on the island burned tobacco to keep her away. She's real. She's alive. There's no real proof of her existence, but the native islanders still believe in the voodoo cowfoot woman.
Oh, damn.
That's crazy. I like that. There should be a movie. The more she was talking, I would like see it in my head, and I was like, "This is terrifying."
Yeah.
And just like the culture on St. John it's very interesting. So I'll kind of go to that a little bit, but just a real quick like. And this is a little bit of research I've done after talking to this woman, but so the Virgin Islands, like the original inhabitants were. Do you guys have any idea who inhabited like the islands or the Virgin Islands or before the slave trade?
Where are the West Indies? This is an ignorant question.
It's kind of all down there.
It's all down there, right?
Yeah, them islands.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer your question.
Remember you asked me, like, you were we were on the phone a couple days ago and you were like, yo, like who are the natives of like Florida? Were there natives there before like people got there?
I was like, I didn't know or were if there were Native Americans
Florida or like
in
the
Florida.
islands? Yeah.
Just like this whole area.
Yeah.
So I didn't know this either. But apparently it's a people called the Taino people, Tiano. I went really deep into like their culture and history, and I was going to share all that, but I think I'm going to save that for another episode if we ever do it. But a lot of people think that the Taino people have been extinct and that they've kind of just like gotten enveloped by other existing cultures. And a lot of people, or some people, still say that they have like full Taino blood, that it exists today. So it's really interesting. It's like I'd never heard that. I never knew about those indigenous people. But anyway, so St. John and St. Thomas and all these islands down here, they were inhabited by the Taino people, but because of the slave trade, they brought over a ton of West African people and people from different parts of Africa. And with them, they brought their culture, their religion, and their beliefs, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's where we get a lot of the things I'm going to talk about right now. Because after she told me about the Cowfoot woman, she goes, have you ever heard of the Anansi? And I was like, the Anansi? Like, no, what are you saying? Like, how do you spell that? The Anansi? Let me Google that. And the Anansi is like a cryptid down there. It's like a spider or something that snatches people and like kills them.
Anansi, bro?
I just found it. An Akan folktale character and the god of stories, wisdom, knowledge, and trickery, most commonly depicted as a spider.
Yeah.
Bro.
Sometimes considered to be a god of all knowledge of stories. Sorry if that was something you were going to get into.
No. She was just mentioning these things and I was looking it up. Then she was like, what about the Moko Jumbie? You ever heard of a Moko Jumbie?
So no.
All of these are brand new to me and it makes me excited. So,
dude, every time she would say something new, I was like, hold on, how do you spell that? And so I Googled it, right? Let me teach you about the Moko Jumbie. Okay. So in Africa, the word Moko means God or healer or like protecting spirit. I can't remember which culture the actual word Moko comes from. Moko. So it's like a god or a healer, someone who protects. And Jumbie is a Trinidadian word that means spirit or ghost. There's different. So a Moko Jumbie is represented. Have you ever heard of Carnival?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Brazil.
Okay. It's also in the islands, the Virgin Islands.
Oh, for real?
Yes. And so now they have people who dress up as Moko Jumbie and they perform in Carnival, and they're kind of a staple in the Virgin Islands Carnival. And you might recognize them if you've ever seen or any celebration on the Virgin Islands, but they are men who dress up and they stand on really tall stilts.
Yeah.
They cover all their body and they wear traditional African clothes. They cover their face and they wear a wide flat brim hat.
Very colorful.
Yeah.
Very colorful.
Yeah. When I searched it and I saw the pictures of them on stilts and the colorful garments, like that looked familiar.
So the Moko Jumbie are a positive. They are a happy thing. They protect the islands. They protect the culture. They're supposed to be able to see danger from far away. And if danger comes, they're supposed to like ward them off because of how tall they are, right? Mm-hmm. Very interesting. For a long time, the tradition of dressing up as a Moko Jumbie and performing on stilts was lost. And then like these two guys named Dragon and something else brought it back. And so now it's a staple in the Virgin Islands Carnival. What she was saying, that's like the very traditional version of Moko Jumbie. But what she was saying was, in Trinidad, in St. John, Jumbie means spirit. It means ghosts. And there's good ghosts and there's bad ghosts. And she was like, I was terrified as a child by bad Jumbie. Mm-hmm. And so the longer a Jumbie is here on this earth and then it doesn't pass on, the taller it gets.
Whoa.
And the lankier it gets, and they get really tall and lanky. And they hide in the forest. They hide in the sugarcane plantation. There's like in the sugarcane plantation, it's like really tall trees, and the stalk is like this tall or this thick, right? So it's
almost
like
a
a forest.
straw.
Yes, and it's like a forest of those. And she said that's where they hide, these Jumbie. And Moko Jumbie, Moko to them doesn't mean God. In Trinidad, it means to mock. And so when they're performing as Moko Jumbie, they're kind of acting as these spirits on earth. And they're kind of becoming a portal or like a representation here on this earth for them. And I watched a video today of like a really renowned, I would say he's like the best or top Moko Jumbie performer for St. John. And he talked about the origins of Moko Jumbie, why he's a Moko Jumbie, what it means to him. And then he talked about actually performing. And he goes, it's really weird, like, or not weird, but it's a very special process that he goes through. And as he puts the clothes on and as he gets on the stilts and as he starts to dance, he says like, I change and I become something else. Whereas if I was doing this on the ground, I would get tired in 20 minutes. But when I'm up there, a change happens and I can perform as a Moko Jumbie for 8+ hours straight. And he's like, I'm granted like strength.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
When she was young, they were terrified. Not necessarily, the Cowfoot woman was kind of like the boogeyman, but she said she was legitimately terrified of Jumbie. And the Jumbie's going to come get you. The Jumbie's going to come get you. And she was like, it's very common on St. John for someone to go into the forest and to become possessed by spirits. And she said, when that happens, it's terrifying. So this is her quick story. When she was young, she was hanging out. She said, I was just a young island girl through and through. And I was hanging with my friends. And a lot of my friends were the older crowd. So I was kind of going along with them. And they were not afraid of Jumbie like I was. But I had to pretend to be tough, right? And she said, there was an old sugar plantation that had all these buildings that were abandoned. And a lot of bad things happened there, both by people and by Jumbie or spirit. And she said, one of the older kids said, we should go there. And she said, I was terrified. Meanwhile, the lady is effing my hair up, but she's telling me this story. So it's worth it. She said, I was terrified to go there, but I couldn't let them know. So pitch black. This is the island. This is, there's no street lights. It's a dirt path through trees.
Yeah.
And
just like Hawaii,
And she said they are in this dirt path, probably 2 to 3 people wide. And on each side, it's like the sugar plantation. So it's these really tall, skinny trees. And she said, we were walking and she was terrified, but she was pretending not to be. And her friends are being loud and they're being like disrespectful. They're calling out the Jumbie. And she said at one point, I told them, hey, like, you better stop. We better stop. Don't do that. And that seemed to almost egg them on more. So they started mocking even more. They weren't paying attention, but she said she could feel there was a change. The wind got quiet, even though the trees were moving, she couldn't hear it. Like the vibe was off. It almost was as if like the stars went out and all the trees like stopped. And she turned and she's like, you guys have better stop. Like, do not mock the Moko Jumbie. And they all are laughing. And she's like facing them, right?
Yeah.
And she said, as she's saying that to them and as they're laughing, all of them see one of the tall trees. It's like 20 feet tall, right? The top of the tree slowly bends down and touches the middle of the road in between her and the friends. Almost as if something they couldn't see grabbed the top and just touched it to the road in between them. And she said, we all watched this tree bend and touch and none of us made a noise. And she said, and then I screamed as loud as I could, run, run, run from the Moko Jumbie, gonna come get you, run. And she just took off as fast as she could. And that's the end of her story.
Close call.
She's like, we all saw it. There was like 6 of us. There's no reason that tree should have bent like that. And she said it was the scariest thing, one of the scariest things she's ever seen in her life. I loved it. I loved hearing about it. As she was talking, I was watching some of the other people cutting hair and they were getting uncomfortable about the things she was talking about.
Whoa.
And I could tell at first she didn't want to like tell me things, but I don't know. Maybe she felt so bad for the haircut she was giving me, or I had earned her trust. But she started sharing this. Like at one point, she was like,
Everyone wants you to take your hat off.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, I actually, so I semi-fixed it, and how I fixed it was I basically just buzzed it. Like I took it down. But I sent DJ a photo. Can you throw it on screen?
No, but I can put it up to the camera. Yeah.
Bro, to show you how bad, like I have 2 bald spots on the top of my head, and then she left my bangs. My bangs were like 2 inches long.
You had that perfect, like, 2005 like bangs you could just gel right up in front.
Yeah. So it's not nearly as bad now. Hold on, give me 1 second. I won't be able to hear you guys. So if you talk to me, I can't hear you. I just shaved the top.
How did you send it to me?
And then, dude, the fade on the side was like boom, boom, boom. So I tried to like fix it myself. There's like a bald spot here that she straight up just like cut to the core of my head.
She's trying to give him stripes, dude.
1 second.
I don't know why I can't find the picture he sent.
It's not in our chat, our text.
Individual text now. It might have been somewhere else. I did find some other things on the Moko Jumbie.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Finish with that. When the people got most uncomfortable, because it was like other people who are from like St. John or Trinidad who were in there cutting. Yeah. She was like, my uncle had a root placed on him.
A root?
And she was like, you never heard of that? You never heard of a root? Get a root placed on you? And I was like, no, dude, what the
Am I supposed to just know?
So a root is a curse. It's like a voodoo curse. So it's basically like the evil eye, but it's for the Virgin Islands.
So it's not an actual root?
No, I don't think so. But when someone puts a root on you, it's like a curse.
The term for it.
Yeah, and her uncle had like a heart attack the next day and passed away.
What the?
They like somehow they figured out who it was, and it was like a person in their village.
How do you like do any type of investigation on a root? Or like,
I don't know. I think there's like reverse. I think there's like counter things you can do to see who did it. You know,
I'm
what
just
I mean?
like thinking like through a CSI, like look at the body and we'll see, be able to.
That's my hair. Look at,
bro.
Bad,
dude.
If you just put a little gel, we're back in 2004, baby.
4th grade Charlie up in this bitch.
With the Statue of Liberty haircut.
Jeez Louise, it's so bad
too. Sometimes.
Real quick, I have one last thing to say, and then I want to hear what you about the Moko Jumbie.
Yeah.
So anyway, she gives me a terrible haircut. I'm too high to say anything. She's like, "How does it look?" And I'm like, "It looks amazing. Thank you so much." I tipped her $5.
Peace be the journey.
Yeah. Don't put a root on me. And then so she's like checking me out at the table, and I'm giving her my card and I'm paying. And then I was like, I have a podcast where I share scary stories, and I would love to share the things you told me today. Like, can I share your stories? And she goes, oh, keep in mind, she's like a 45-year-old St. Jonian woman. And she goes, oh, I have a boyfriend. And I was like, first of all, I was high. So I'm like, so I was like, what? Wait, what? I was like, what? And she goes, he would never go for it. I have a boyfriend. I'm sorry. And I was like, no, I just asked you if I could tell your stories on my show. And she's like, sorry. And I was like, okay. And I just turned around and walked out. And I sat in my car for so long, and I was like, what just happened, bro? She hit me with the, I have a boyfriend.
Bro, that's
and I was
low
like, wow.
key like my life anyways. I go on a date with someone from like an app, like Tinder, and they're like, oh, I have a boyfriend.
Wow. That's wild.
But I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah. So anyway, I was perplexed. Anyway, she didn't give me permission to share these. So hopefully she never hears this. And and I don't give a shit because she already has a boyfriend. So
and she just up your hair.
your hair, dog.
Yeah. And she ruined my head, so I'm fine with sharing that. What'd you find on Moko Jumbie? And then I got to get out of here.
Have you be looking like the night bus, dude?
She made me look like a Moko Jumbie, dude.
It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Yeah.
Okay. Moko arrived in Trinidad, apparently walking from West Africa.
Oh, yeah. Walked all the way there.
Walked all the way across the Atlantic Ocean from the west coast of Africa because they were so tall, laden with many centuries of experience, and in spite of all inhuman attacks and encounters, yet still walks tall.
I saw something that said like people witnessed Moko in Africa. They were able to they were standing there, and all of a sudden they would just like stretch really tall in front of them, and it freaked them the out. And I was like, if that's based on actual things, that's so terrifying sounding.
That's super terrifying. That's such a dope story. Like, great folk tale of like them walking across
Slender
the
Man,
Atlantic.
dude.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen the videos? I don't know who it is. If it's like the
animated,
if it's like the Maasai tribe or something, where they jump, but they don't bend. They don't bend their knees.
They're just like,
do they just use like their ankles or something? But they're like their vert is like.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Moko Jumbie levels, dude.
Yeah. And then there's a white dude who tries it and like he gets like 6 inches off the ground.
Not even.
Yeah. It's crazy. No, they got hops, bro.
Wild.
Anyway,
sorry, go ahead.
No, just to wrap that up, it was really cool. It was like I hadn't even considered, I've never even heard any of this folklore. And so it was a really cool, just like little snapshot into it. And I could tell storytelling was super important to them. The culture, the beliefs really strong. And I'm interested to look into it more because I know there is more in the Virgin Islands.
That's exciting because sometimes it feels like, we've gone through hundreds and hundreds, almost 1,000. At least, I wouldn't be surprised if we've gone through over 1,000 stories.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes it can feel like the well is running dry, but
then you hear something brand new and you're like, what?
Yeah. So I'm sure there's other things out there that we haven't even heard of at all. It's just being in the right place, right time with the right people. So
getting your hair up the right way.
Thanks for listening to me ramble about moving, but I'm excited to be back. I'm happy to be back. I think we can make this a regular thing. So I'm excited.
Cool.
And then next time, I know we teased it, but next time Sean and I are going to talk about his trip out here to Florida.
Yeah. And we'll probably have another Florida trip to talk about by then too.
Ooh, maybe we do it out here. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I love you guys. I'm happy to be back and hang out. I needed this, so I appreciate it.
Love you too, bro. Good to have you back. The three of us again, and to be with chat. Until next time, guys, trust your gut, watch your back.
Bye. Love you. Be safe.
Be careful out there.
Goodbye.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of 3 a.m. If you want to support us, visit our Patreon where patrons have access to exclusive content. If you're not able to support us monetarily, don't worry. This episode is on us. You can still rate and review us on whatever platform you listen to us on. It really does go a long way. You can also follow us on social media. Our handle everywhere, including Patreon, is the 3 a.m. pod. Finally, do you have any scary stories? If so, submit them to our website, the3ampodcast.com. We love any audio or visual aids that can help bring your stories to life. So file uploads are welcome with your written submissions. We're anxious and excited to hear from you.